Hey, what's up everybody, it's AlbyMTG, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys an Undefeated Kaladesh Prerelease sealed deck. I talked about it in my Infinite Combo video, which is doing very, very well, by the way. I mean, I can't believe that it already has over 1,000 views. It's honestly insane, and I love each and every single one of you that watched the video or showed it to one of your friends or just anything like that. But we're here to talk about this amazing Kaladesh sealed pool that I opened and the undefeated deck that I made with it. You guys are really going to want to pay attention to the last two cards in here, because those last two cards are what truly made the deck go undefeated. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Maybe you guys can look out for some of these commons and uncommons when you guys are drafting. And if you have the chance to take any of these last two cards in a draft, just take them. They're some pretty good cards, so definitely stick around for those. And yeah, let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about the deck. It's Naya, so it's three colors: green, white, and red. Most people tell you that in sealed you're only supposed to play two colors. I like to mix it up sometimes, play three colors. This was definitely one of those decks where I could make three colors work. I had a Prophetic Prism and then some other guy who finds basic lands and then brings them into the battlefield tapped. I'll talk about that guy when we get to him. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get right into this. You guys just want to see what cards I played with, and you guys definitely want to see these last two cards, because I just keep on talking about them. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the first card. I'm going creatures first, and then we'll go into non-creature spells afterwards, and everything is sorted by converted mana cost. So it'll be creatures by converted mana cost, and then non-creature spells by converted mana cost. And yes, I do consider vehicles as creatures. So the first card here is Kujar Seed Sculptor, one colorless and one green for a 1/2, but when it enters the battlefield you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. I think I only saw this guy once and I put the counter on himself, so he wasn't great, but even a 2/3 for 2 is amazing. Or not necessarily amazing, but really solid. Next we have an Aviary Mechanic for one colorless and one white. We get a 2/2 Dwarf Artificer. When it enters the battlefield you may return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. I think I returned a creature that had a removal spell under, or I forget what it was, revoke privileges or malfunction. It was one of the two. I returned the creature that was underneath one of those, so that I would then be able to replay him without the enchantment on him. Next, we have 3 copies of what may just be the best common in the set. I absolutely love this card. We're talking about Eddy Trail Hawk, one colorless and one white for a 1/2 flying bird. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. When it attacks, you may pay an energy if you do another target creature you control. Another target attacking creature, not creature you control. My apologies. Another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. Great card, amazing, loved it. Give some of my bigger guys flying towards the end of the game. Definitely helpful. Having 3 of those was just great. 2 copies of Glini-Sleeve Artisan, 2 colorless and 1 white for a 2/2 with Fabricate 1. Most of the time I made the servo with him, just a really solid 3-drop. Next we have Consulate Shield Guard for 3 colorless and 1 white. We get 2 energy and a 3/4 Dwarf Soldier. And then whenever he attacks, I can pay an energy to give another target attacking creature indestructible until end of turn. I don't think I ever saw this guy in any of my games that I played, but I mean, I'm sure if he showed up, he would have done some good work. This card ended up being an all-star in the deck. Wild Wanderer for 3 colorless and 1 green. You get a 3/2 Elf Druid with whenever it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Not only was it mana fixing, but it also ramped us a little bit, which was very, very nice. This card is great. Next we got Pima Outrider. For 2 colorless and 2 green, we get a 3/3 Elf Artificer with Trample and Fabricate 1. Again, most of the time you make the servo, but since this guy has Trample, you could see some situations come up where just putting the counter on him and then swinging could put the game in your favor. Next we have Spontaneous Artist, 3 colorless and a red for a 3/3 human rogue. When he enters the battlefield, you get an energy, and then you can pay an energy to give target creature haste until end of turn. This was also a very, very solid card. Sometimes I gave haste to himself. Other times, we had the energy from the Eddy Trail Hawks just kind of stacking up, and I was able to give some of my bigger threats, like this next guy I'm going to talk about here, haste in the long game. This is Malphus Doorbuster, 3 colors and 1 red for a human warrior. He's a 4/2, and when he enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. And then whenever he attacks, you may pay an energy. If you do, target creature can't block this turn. So with Spontaneous Artist, it was really good. You could just be like, okay, Malphus Doorbuster has haste now, and the one creature you left block can't attack or can't block this turn. Take 7. So that was really solid. Next, we have the only vehicle in the deck, which is Oval Chase Dragster. For 4 colorless, you get a 6/1 vehicle, has Trample, Haste, and Crew 1. Not much to talk about there, just a really solid vehicle. And then the most expensive creature in the deck, most expensive being converted mana cost wise, we have Riparian Tiger for 3 colorless and 2 green. We get a 4/4 cat with Trample. When he enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and then whenever he attacks, you can pay 2 energy. If you do, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I don't think I ended up seeing this guy in any of my games either. I can remember one instance where it came up, or where I saw him, but I don't think he really made that much of an impact. But I'm sure after playing with him for a while, he seems like a very good card. He seems like he would swing the board state into your favor. Now that's all the creatures. We're going to go ahead and move into the non-creature spells. First one is Blossoming Defense. 1 green for an instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. It's good to win combat and good to dodge removal spells. Just an overall solid card. Might actually end up seeing play in modern Infect decks, which is very cool. Next is possibly the best uncommon in the set, Nature's Way. 1 colorless and 1 green. For a sorcery, target creature you control gains a Vigilance and Trample until end of turn, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So not only does your creature get Vigilance and Trample until end of turn for 2 mana, it also kills one of your opponent's creatures, which is just amazing. Next we have the T-Woo card, Travis Woo. Harnessed Lightning, 1 colorless and 1 red for an instant. Choose target creature. You get 3 energy counters. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Harnessed Lightning deals that much damage to target creature. Only his creatures, but still really solid. Then we have Prophetic Prism. Just a little bit of mana fixing. 2 colorless for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And then for 1 colorless and tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So since we're running a 3-color deck, if we needed green and all we had was red, we could go ahead and just pay a red and then turn it into green using the Prophetic Prism. Next we have 2 copies of a very solid removal spell, Revoke Privileges, 2 colorless and a white for an enchantment, enchanted creature for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack, block, or crew vehicles. And the whole crew vehicles thing ended up being more important than even I thought it would be. I knew vehicles were going to be a good part of the sealed format, but it ended up being very, very crucial in a lot of my games that some of their stuff couldn't crew up their vehicles. Next we have something similar to Revoke Privileges, but this one is a rare. This is Captured by the Consulate. 3 colorless and 1 white for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature you don't control. Enchanted creature can't attack, and whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it has a single target, change the target to enchanted creature if possible. So all of their combat tricks and all of their removal kind of goes away, and they have to kill one of their own creatures and or buff one of their own creatures that can't really do much with it. So that's pretty solid. Nice little removal spell. And now we are on to the final 2 cards. We're on to why this deck actually managed to go 3-0. You guys are looking at it and you're like, yeah, it's a solid deck. It has some really good commons, some really good uncommons. I've only seen 1 rare so far, and that was Captured by the Consulate. Where's all the really good crazy stuff? Right here is where all the really good crazy stuff happens. Next, we're looking at 1 copy of Chandra, Torch of Defiance. This card is absolutely insane. 4 abilities on her, 2 colorless and 2 red for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Most of the time I was either adding mana to my mana pool, that way I could just play more spells each turn, or exiling the top card of my library and then usually not playing it to just deal 2 to my opponent. I did manage to make the Chandra emblem in one of my games. It felt so good, guys. You guys have no idea. I just won the game like 3 spells later or something like that. It was It was insane. So obviously Chandra's here. The deck's great, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at our next card. This was my promo for my pre-release pack. This is Nissa Vital Force. Yeah, we did it. We pulled Chandra and Nissa, same pre-release pool. Somehow I did it, guys. Also, Nissa is foil because it's the it was my pre-release promo, so she just looks beautiful and everything. The card's on your screen. You guys know what it does. These Planeswalkers are just absolutely insane. And within a 3-round pre-release event, I managed to have both of them out on the battlefield at the same time in 3 different occasions. It was absolutely insane. Every time I had them both out together, I just won the game. And I think every time I just had one of them out in general, I won the game too. So that's just insane. These cards are great. I lucked out so hard, guys. Pulling 2 Planeswalkers and both of them being very solid in the same sealed pool. I pulled some Tahili Rise and some other pre-release events, but she just didn't do exactly what I wanted her to. I'll go ahead and go through all of the cards that I managed to pull in my 3 pre-release events, as well as the prize packs. I'll go through all that stuff later on, but for now in this video, that pretty much does it. Chandra, Torch of Defiance, promo Nissa Vital Force. Absolutely insane. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like on it. Comment down below if you think this pre-release pool was insane. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.